there was a special request, a very special request, because we mentioned yesterday that we might have some camp buzz because Bud's been in the thick of the buzz, right? You go there with all the general managers, all the player personnel. They said, are we going to get that camp buzz? I say, Mother Nature will let us. Come on, let's buzz it.
Players that are making a buzz. Camp buzz. Camp buzz. Camp buzz. Talking about players that are buzzing.
Yeah, so one of the worst parts about camp buzz is preseason injuries. But like preseason injuries are kind of the worst injuries you can have because it means you're losing the player for 12, 13, 14, 15 games. And I think among those, quarterback is clearly the worst, but losing one of your big guys is probably second on that list because most of your young guys, at the big positions, are just not really ready to play for the most part. And we have some bad news here, unfortunately. So Texas right tackle Andre Kojo looks like he's done for the year. Maybe a starter, maybe not. Obviously battling Brandon Baker there. But what is not in question is that their depth is like zero. Because remember, they lost both their guys last year to the draft. So that's really concerning. Now, the left tackle for them, he actually played Goolsby. He really played, I thought, quite well down the stretch, including against Texas A&M when they had one of their guys banged up. But let's just file this note away. Obviously, number one, we hope Kojo gets back healthy and has an awesome career. Number two, if Texas has another tackle injury this year, they are like red alert. And that's a real concern if you are somebody who took Arch Manning 2 overall in the Heisman draft like me. So, yeah, that's one to watch for there. Virginia right tackle Michaelan Thomas, he's going to miss multiple months. So that's really bad because obviously a school like UVA is not going to have like multiple starter level tackles. And so, I think if you guys could redo your win total picks, a tackle probably doesn't move the needle enough unless you were just kind of on the fence. Maybe it pushes you one way, but certainly if I was betting over with UVA because the schedule's a cakewalk, which it is, I'm like a little bit less confident now in that because of that. And they also lost, unfortunately, one of their defensive backs. Where's this kid's name here? I just pulled it up. Jamaric Jones, unfortunately, tore his ACL. So that's not good. So UVA had brought in they lost 2 cornerbacks in the spring to ACL injuries as well, Jam Jackson and Dre Walker. So now this is the third they have lost in like the last 4 or 5 months now to ACL injuries at DB. So not a great offseason for UVA.
Wait, hold on. Can we go back to Texas?
Yeah.
I mean, that's the number 1 team in the country.
Right.
This feels how many opponents do you think Texas has that will expose losing a player of Kojo's caliber?
If Brandon Baker is ready to go and plays to his ceiling, 0. If somehow Baker is not good, or if they have a single tackle injury, then I think the number is potentially, let me see, Ohio State, yes. Oklahoma, definitely. Florida, definitely. Kentucky, I think their D-line kind of sucks this year, so no.
Mississippi State, no. Maybe 4?
A&M, Georgia.
Shoot.
So, I mean, I think their 5 toughest games probably become a lot tougher. Remember, Texas has one of the easiest SEC schedules. It's a difficult schedule overall because they have a road game in Columbus to open the year. But, if you're Arch Manning, you're like, damn it, really? Like our tackle depth takes a major hit. That's not great.
Yeah, I think more than anything, if you're Texas, is that you're already replacing guys on your offensive line, including your left tackle who went first round of the NFL draft, and now you're probably suffering injuries at a spot where depth gets tested pretty quick.
It feel? It feels very similar to last year when Notre Dame. I remember when Jagasaw goes down and we're kind of worried about him. At a place like Texas, they just whip out some more pancake batter and just make another one on the griddle. I mean, I don't mean to be insensitive because obviously you don't want to ever see an injury, but if there was a program that I wouldn't worry about, it would be Texas. They'd be one of probably 5 that you feel like there's going to be some 5-star. But I think Bud's point about the depth issue, that becomes the question mark for them when you start, then you get thinner, and you don't want to be thin, especially when you're playing 16 games, potentially.
Oh,
Exactly.
that pancake broke. That's okay. Just scoop some more out the ladle and lay it out there.
That's where babies come from.
Yesterday, there was a real big scare on social media with Nussmeier at practice.
I heard he's dead.
Yeah, I was like, okay. But
that was quickly shot down by like a lot of people that are pretty connected with LSU. Like Jacob Hester, he was on the radio. He's like, no, it's not true. Feldman shot it down, said multiple sources, said it was, can't believe it spread. Like it was they almost made it sound like no big deal, which hopefully it is.
Garrett Nussmeier is not injured, but he might be a furry.
That's right.
Seriously.
All right.
I don't know how long he'll be out. Sonny Ship 15 hours ago on Go 247 said not expecting anything significant at all. And by that meaning like weeks. So, I'm assuming he's good by Clemson. Maybe I shouldn't assume that.
So wait, you're hearing that he is going to be missing practice?
No, yes. I just said, Sonny said not hearing that it's anything significant. And by that, I mean weeks. So, maybe I'll have
that's a little concerning. That's more concerning than I had reading some of these reports. It wasn't nothing like
happened. Like I don't think that. I think the severity was extremely overstated on social media, but I haven't seen anybody shot it down and say like nothing happened at all.
All right, here's the line that I believe is going to be used on a story on CBSSports.com here in just a little bit is a D lineman's knee brace clipped Nussmeier's knee after a throw, and he was a little gimpy afterwards, but it's fine.
So they bang knees.
Right.
That hurts a little bit.
But no timetable given for fine.
Mm-hmm.
You just let him cool off a little bit, Don't go out there. I mean, DK, again, we'll come to you. You ever get clipped by a knee brace? Were they wearing knee braces?
Our offensive linemen had to. It was a requirement. Yeah. They had to wear them on both knees. They hate. I mean, I don't know. I would have hated it if I was them. Some of them didn't love it because they're pretty big and they're pretty restrictive. But like all kind of nicks and bruises happen. I used to hate getting stepped on. Like that was painful. And then you'd lose like a toenail like a month later. That was a painful process. Like those, like there's just it's a part of physicality of the sport, right? It's just kind of part of it. My biggest fear was hand. I did break a finger on a helmet. That was in a preseason game. But sometimes you're on contact, but they're blocking guys into you, and you're focused downfield, and you can kind of get bruises on your hand sometimes. So it's all part of it. But I actually am a little bit. Not more concerned, but I thought it was like all fake news, like this is nothing. But if he misses a couple weeks of practice, like then you are getting closer to game time, not from a prep standpoint, because clearly he's familiar with everybody, the system, but just something you don't want to have to deal with.
Yeah. I don't have any reason to like justify this. I think he's going to play against Clemson.
Yeah,
but,
I think so too.
Nobody's told me like he's for sure in, but that's a couple weeks away. So, but I think
by the way,
he's not out for the year. And then
if it was any reason like a defensive player was too close to him, that guy might lose his scholarship because that's how serious they are about like there's Bailey Brad, but don't touch the QB. That's the one thing they'll do in preseason that they'll absolutely lose their minds. If you get some young freshman who's feeling good and he wants to really buzz them, that's when you get a little talking to.
Yeah, I mean, so sticking on LSU for a minute, I've heard very good things about the DBs that they took in the portal. Like I think Delane is probably pretty legit, and that's going to be very important as they match up against Clemson, especially if they try to keep using, Harold Perkins in that defense, because I don't think he really fits what they want to run. But like they clearly paid the kid, and he's a hometown. Like there's a lot of stuff like with height where you kind of gotta work him in somehow. Politics and whatnot, or maybe he'll be good this year. I don't know. Like he was kind of a liability last year before he got dinged. And they also have like the Weeks injury. How good is he going to look? Is he going to be 100%? Don't know. But I did hear good things about the DBs and Whit Weeks, the linebacker.
Yeah, linebacker.
But also DJ Pickett apparently is looking really good for them. The 5-star corner they paid up for. So you always want to hear like I like to hear from guys at the symposium or personnel people I know like, hey, the guy we paid big money for, we're confident we hit even though it's only a couple weeks into camp. Like, they're very confident that Pickett's going to be a dude for them. So that's an extremely encouraging sign. You know what I didn't hear a damn thing about? I didn't hear bad words. Just nobody was bragging on LSU's O-line that they took in the portal. And they got to replace both tackles to the draft. So that's still very wait and see. And when I saw the Nuss news, I was kind of, why is he getting dinged? Now, it happens all the time, just on accident. I shouldn't. But, like, I don't know. You heard anything good about the LSU offensive line they took? Because I
haven't. Before, if you got anything else LSU, let's hit it. But
oh yeah, I do. The receiver from Kentucky, Barron Brown.
Yeah,
dude,
good.
Like they like him a lot. Yeah,
he's a good player.
Like a whole lot.
I mean, talk about getting freed. You know,
Destin Hill is no longer
Liberation Day for Barron Brown.
Yeah, Destin Hill's back. I think Aaron Anderson's dinged up. The Louisiana kid who signed with Bama, and now he's back. But yeah, I mean, like, to Lane Jennings' point in the chat, like, TJ Parker is going to eat them alive. He very well may like really bust them.
What are you hearing about Dallas Wilson as Florida continues to have these issues pile up? Is this something to be really concerned about in terms of the Gators?
Because of the difficult games Florida has early, I think you have to be worried about this, because we know Eugene Wilson, has not been healthy for much of the offseason, and he's still kind of dinged. And now Dallas Wilson, who is a physical freak show, with him being hurt, like, I think you got to be a little bit worried about Florida's passing game. They also just have not worked together because Lagway missed all his spring. Like, I love the upside of Florida, but their variance is just so wide. And they don't even like their backup. Remember, like, they wanted to get to Sean Purdy. They don't want to play Harrison Bailey if Lagway isn't there. So sorry, I had a lot of coffee today, but I'm moving fast. I think you got to be worried about Florida a little bit with those, because that's a freshman who, he's not a luxury. Like, they're counting on him to be good and good immediately.
I mean, is Florida fans feel like their team is falling apart right now? Is that a fair? It feels like. What did Jake say? Jake said yesterday, "Why is our team made of glass?" Mm-hmm. You know, like, yeah. I mean, there's already real dread and panic setting in, which is, incredible, because I swear they were flying high, number 12 in the CBS Sports 136 like 2 days ago. Now all of a sudden, how are we going to be able to back that up?
And if they're full health, I'm very confident 12 is low. Like, I don't think full health Florida, like, there ain't no way in hell, personally, that I would favor 11 other teams over full health Gators. Like, if Lagway's actually,
you're saying from like a power rating standpoint.
Correct. Yeah, exactly. But again, I think the voters in that poll are smart to realize, like, there's a lot of moving pieces who have to go right here, and health is one of those major moving pieces for them. They're kind of like the Jacob deGrom of college football right now. Everybody acknowledges, like, the talent is pretty unreal, especially at QB, but if they just can't stay healthy, it's quite annoying.
Before we get to
ability is availability.
That's true.
Right.
Before we get more. You want to do Edric Houston? That's a big one. If you want to talk about the other side, we still haven't talked about Ohio State's defensive lineman.
I saw he got dinged, right? But is he out? Because I didn't see more on that. Let me check. Well, somebody else check Bucknuts, because my typing is really loud with the new mic stand. I got it. Dave would know. Maybe I'll just text Dave.
I think what stood out to me when I looked at it was remembering just how much has gone off Ohio State's defensive line, just how many young players they need to step in, and that a player of Houston's talent level is the kind of guy that we've seen at Ohio State who steps in, and maybe he's not even the starter, maybe he is the starter, but he plays a whole lot of snaps, and he has a big impact on the game, and that anywhere that we see that group take a little bit of a step back is going to be just more reasons to go into prove-it mode for Ohio State's defense, given everything they lost in the defensive front, and also the coordinator change from Jim Knowles to Matt Patricia. Houston back in full practice today. Thank you, Billy, in the tailgate.
I am on Bucknuts right now. The top story is NIL has screwed this class. From famous Buckeye. Currently ninth, coming off a national title. Yeah, currently ninth, coming off a national title, and under normal circumstances, his class is top 5. I could probably come up with 3 to 5 names of the top 150 players that would be committed to us, if not for the biggest bag being the carrot that has caused them to go elsewhere. Too bad college football and the institutions have not figured out a way to keep the playing field even when it comes to money, because our staff, culture, and path to the NFL is second to none. Yeah, that's right. An Ohio State fan whose $20 million roster just won a national title, complaining about how money's ruining the sport.
So just saw this from the chat. Max Granville is out for Penn State. He was an early enrollee freshman who was looking good. But Zariah Fisher, we had heard was really pretty damn good for them. And they were like from Big Ten today. He was one of the guys.
I mean, when you got Dennis Sutton and Zane Durant and Fisher, I think they're okay on that top line. Tough to lose a talent.
I think the depth is for certain.
I think we're okay there.
It is interesting from LSU versus Far in the chat. I normally wouldn't read like anonymous, but like I said, Elijah Pritchett, the Bama transfer, is getting pushed at Nebraska. Probably be the starter, but there's certainly a chance that he gets beaten out. That would be very concerning for me. I don't like, from my perspective, they took Pritchett for a reason. They paid Pritchett for a reason. They need him to start. I don't think Nebraska has like options that are better than Pritchett who are also good. So if he doesn't win the job, to me, that would just be like pretty disappointing. Could be wrong. I don't think I am.
I mean, just right out of here, out of the Cover 3 journalistic standards, just something that I saw and I cannot attribute. Somebody took a look at Nebraska's practice, and the quote coming out of it was, "There's going to be a lot of close games." So, oh, okay. Like, how about that? What do you, if somebody said there's going to be a lot of close games and you know Nebraska's personnel, what is your takeaway to that?
Run it by me one more time, because I was looking at this report of JoJo Trader, the Miami potential number 1 receiver in a boot.
Someone watched Nebraska's practice. The takeaway was there's going to be a lot of close games.
Okay, well, if we have reasonable confidence in the offense, that probably means they think the defense is going to suck, and I totally agree with that. Like, there's a reason Tony White, who's a really good DC, left Nebraska for a 2-10 Florida State team.
Listen, I'm not just saying this because of the hat on my head, but a lot of times the videos you see at practice don't really mean anything. Don't pay any attention.
No. Caleb Williams is a bust. He's done.
No.
He could not hit the target on the thing before practice. They're toast. I mean, I saw that. They're done.
It's funny, that video made the rounds, but like the next day when he made every single one, that video didn't really get shared nearly as much.
Right.
It's all about what'll go viral, baby.
I know. It just means that the
Watkins,
Vikings and Packers are scared.
Evan Watkins reports that from our Virginia Tech site, does a great job. Reports that Kyron Drones is 100% healthy. So that's a big one. We know he was banged sometimes last year, and he was definitely banged up in the spring. So we do need, we like that.
They play South Carolina, which is waiting on the Faison ruling.
Mm-hmm.
Correct. Yeah, so that's interesting too. So Faison got his TRO approved to be able to practice, right? Faison's looking for that like a millionth year of college football, basically, which whatever. Like I think long term, we probably need a solution to that. In the immediate term, I think that everybody should get it for this year, because I think like having it granted in some cases by one court and not by another court is an inconsistent solution. That's not really fair for the sport. Like, we need to work for a more permanent solution, like an actual rule. But it's hard to do for this year. I think they should get it. In Cali, the judge consolidated the cases of USC and UCLA players. So Robinson and then the guard and the O-lineman for USC denied the TRO, and then said the NCAA has to show cause for why the injunction should not be granted. So we'll see if the NCAA can do that. And that's a pretty big one for USC, because remember that Oregon took USC's starting guard, the Wyoming kid. Remember?
Mm-hmm.
USC took him from Wyoming, and then Oregon took him away. Yeah, so they lost into Oregon. So they don't have the replacement for that kid. That's a
concern.
Yeah. What else do we have here?
Yeah. Anything else on the Camp Buzz notebook?
The chat seems to like this a lot.
Bud's been in the thick of it, but I mean, Tom, Danny, any other like stray, unattributable comments that you would bring? Like,
what did you guys? So Ryan Day said this thing's coming down to the wire between Julian Sayin and Lincoln Kienholz. Do we believe him? I mean, he talked about consistency. You know, I don't believe him either, but it does sound like I wonder if they want Julian Sayin to play a little bit cleaner, to kind of put some pressure on him to take that step forward. I just feel like it's been a little bit sloppy, and I don't know if that's a great thing. I don't think it's panic, but I think they're really trying to see if Julian Sayin would take that step forward.
I believe it.
Yeah, I believe it.
So you think it is a real competition out of all these that are?
Yeah, because I think you can't dismiss the idea that Lincoln was an extremely raw but high upside 3-sport guy. And so how can we say with certainty, when we really haven't seen him play any meaningful snaps in games, that he hasn't finally unlocked that potential since he's been focusing on football? You know? Like, I would be surprised if he is not at least somehow like featured in red zone stuff. Red zone was an issue for Ohio State a couple of years ago, and we know that Sayin is not a run threat and not a real big guy. I know he's bigger now. Save it, Ohio State fans. He's not a guy you're like, yeah, that's the dude I want banging around in the red zone. Lincoln is. So I might be kind of surprised if he's not somehow involved in some packages, right?
Yeah, and I think it's one of those things where it's the kind of thing where they're still competing because Lincoln Kienholz isn't letting Sayin pull away. So I think it's one of those good things. Same vein, but the other way. Quote today coming out of Mizzou from Eli Drinkwitz about their quarterback battle between Bo Pribula and Sam Horn. There really hasn't been any separation. I think that goes the other way. I think that they're worried because, they brought in Pribula from the transfer portal, and the fact that he's not separating from Horn, I think is a bad update coming out of Mizzou.
So, yeah, I think Mizzou's defense is dynamite.
Yeah,
I don't know about their offense. Yeah. We'll see. But they've done pretty good job with like just misfit toys before, and I don't think anybody ever thought Pribula was a great thrower. Like, you took him to work off some of your zone game stuff, and also
before we leave Ohio State, Danny, the Ryan Day playbook, it doesn't matter who it is. Yeah. It's going to go down to the wire. I mean. What was it, like Justin Fields got pushed, and the Devin Brown, Kyle McCord, everyone's going to fight over how we relitigate Kyle McCord's time in Columbus, but Kyle McCord was getting pushed, all the way down to the wire. I think this is how he manages.
How'd that work out?
I just think this is how he manages a quarterback battle when he doesn't have a true returning starter. He's going to keep it going, and Lincoln's presence is probably a great thing for Julian Sayin. And if Julian Sayin's a little sloppy, heck yeah. Like, let Lincoln go out. Like, you sit your ass on the sideline, go watch these next reps with Lincoln with the ones. I totally rock with it.
I hated that because I was in a quarterback competition, to win the job after Charlie Ward left. And it drove me nuts that they wouldn't just name me the starter because I had played more. But they let it up. But I do think that's the only way you can simulate the pressure of what it's like to be Ohio State's starting quarterback. Like, you have to make that quarterback uncomfortable. You don't want to hand anybody a job. So I think that's exactly what he's doing, is he's trying to simulate the pressure environment of having to deliver when you have to step up. Like, it's so you got to separate yourself. So I get it. And I think it's a smart thing to do. But I just, trying to read between the lines of, all right, why do some of these, why aren't they yet is interesting.